Welcome back, everybody. We're here for day 2 of the WePlay Dota 2 League. $25,000 up for grabs. We've got an online competition of some of Europe, America's finest. In Kaipi's case, the world's finest.
The world's finest.
Yeah. Summer, please have mercy, says Virtus Pro. We have our opening match, as said. It's going to be Virtus Pro up against Kaipi. This is all Group A action. We can actually take a quick look at where we stand in Group A. We've had, I think I said we're at day 2. This is day 3. I'm getting mixed up, getting a bit muddled here, but we're going to go through all the Group A matches before we go into our other 3 groups. So we'll just look at Group A this morning. We've got your new team of effing Mad, which is your Mouse, Quantic, and Flipside trio. They're sitting on 3-1, having a really good start, especially their 2-0 over Virtus Pro.
Well,
Virtus Pro have been disappointing, though.
Virtus Pro, I'm not sure if 2-0 actually even matter or not, because I feel like they're not a team that's even probably going to finish it on top half.
Yeah. Well, I think the top 3 teams advance from each group, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I'm not sure how that would work. Maybe it's even top 4.
Well, it's like you said, they'll be happy to get top 3.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they can.
It might be top 4, because I actually haven't looked too much into the format. It would make sense if there's 16 teams in the playoffs, so it could be top 4, and they'll be happy if it's top 4, because they'll be struggling to do well here. As they're sitting 1-3. They lost a game against Cascade, who looked pretty impressive.
Cascade Dota was legit.
Yeah. To beat a team like VP, sure, we're saying they're playing badly, but they still have 4 players who played at TI3.
Right.
They've got some legit players on there.
Meanwhile, we have NextKZ have had a okay showing yesterday. Was able to take a game off Mouseboard, Mouseboard, Quantic, Flipside. They were undefeated to that point, so NextKZ showing some moves. But today we're going to watch Kaipi and see how well they, break some of these teams, because I think we both think they are the clear favorite of this group.
Absolutely. I think the only time I see them maybe losing a game is when they go up against that new Mouse roster, which is, at worst, I see them maybe having a 1-1 trade. I think they should be able to win most of their games against every other team. If they drop games, it'll be a disappointing result, at least for them. But we'll hop ourselves into the game.
Well, at the same time, Kaipi recently had a best-of-5 series against a team named Life. I haven't heard too much about Life. Do you know?
I know, I've heard of a few of the players here and there, but I haven't seen, actual results from the team.
Okay, so it was a best-of-5 series, and it went to 5 games. And they dropped the first 2 games and rattled back with a 3-win comeback. But for this kind of best-of-2 series, it doesn't matter whether it's not like a 3-2, we win the series. It's each game matters. So Kaipi does have times where they should beat certain opponents, but they still lose to them. So I think if you're going up against Kaipi, you just hope that you get one of those matches on your side. Yep,
and those of you who are tuning in, we do thank you for doing so. But if you want to watch in Dota TV, there's a Dota TV ticket available. It's only $8, and you get what's no longer Justin Bieber. I'm disappointed, Lumi.
And sad.
Justin Bieber got removed.
Justin Bieber's legit.
I was looking forward to my Justin Bieber courier, but we get the wood chopper now. It's $8. You get a courier, you also get a Dota TV ticket. So even if you just want the Dota TV ticket, you can probably go sell the courier on Dota 2 lands for I don't know. Most couriers are $10. So this is officially the cheapest courier out there, and you get a Dota TV ticket with it. So,
yeah. So fair enough.
The good old wood chopper, but we'll hop ourselves into this game as Bat Rider is going to be let through the pool, first pick by Virtus Pro.
Yeah, Kaipi had first pick, I believe.
No. Rubik was just picked then, I think.
Oh, yeah, Kaipi had first pick.
Okay, Kaipi had first pick.
They're we'll have Naga instead. So this is the 3rd or 4th time that we've seen Virtus Pro given Bat Rider. Yesterday, G played it. I think G played it once in a solo mid position, and then we had Light of Heaven played another time on the off lane position. Light of Heaven actually moving up to the drafter. I think it was Go Black that was drafting a couple days ago. It looks like things are not working out, so Light of Heaven says, "Move over, man. I'm taking over." I
don't think it's really cause for concern or to worry about Virtus Pro. This team formed a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago at most. You're not expected to suddenly be a well cohesive team that's a well-oiled machine or anything. You're just sort of meant to be learning how to play with each other, figuring out what drafts work. So putting someone else in drafts, saying, "Hey, you do your thing. Let's see if you can find anything that works better." I think
at the same time, though, generally when you have a new team that's formed together, they play with a uplifted spirit. They win a lot more games, and I'm not sure how good the spirit is at Virtus Pro. It looks pretty crappy because they are losing a ton of games.
Yeah, well, we'll see if they can bounce back here. This would be a good team to do it against. Kaipi go for a very early Mirana pick with the Naga Siren as well. So, wondering where they look to put this. Maybe is this an EE hero? Because I don't think it's something that we likely see Sing playing on the mid lane.
It could definitely be one of your off-lane heroes. Maybe we'll see Pale Die, or no, Bone 7 playing it. It's hard to say, because Kaipi really loves their Bane support as well, so very similar to what we saw from the Quantic Flipside Mouseboard lineup. They like to run Bane Mirana as your kind of your dual stunner, dual support. And in terms of mid-game roam, the Moonlight Shadow is not a spell to be forgotten. So we'll see how it goes. We do see some of the newer hero being banned out. Troll Warlord by Virtus Pro, a hero that Kaipi select quite a bit. Bane or Abaddon being banned out, hero by Kaipi. But this is going to be a third pick Kunkka. So we have a ton of lockdown already. This is what I like about the draft so far. So you have mobile bursty heroes in the form of Mirana and Kunkka, but you also have a ton of lockdown. X marks the spot, arrows, Naga and Snare, and Sleep. So what we see a lot of draft nowadays is like you got 3-4 picks featuring Weavers and ODs, and there's no stun in sight. So I feel like this draft, although not as strong in late game carry, but definitely a lot stronger throughout each stage of the game.
Yeah, I think it's most likely me Sing playing that Kunkka. He's been playing it a couple of times in the mid lane. His other mid hero, Troll Warlord, actually banned out, something which he's sort of really brought into the metagame in the Western scene. But Kunkka, very, very accustomed to playing this. He's played it even back in the old Mouse days when they used to do their Shadow Demon Kunkka mid-dual lane. So something which I think they don't need the hard late game carry because they're going to have at least 2 cores, maybe 3 sort of semi-carry cores. You've got your Mirana, who could go safe lane for EE. You've got your Kunkka mid, and you get something for Bone 7. He doesn't normally play like a, I guess, too supporty type offlane hero. He'll play your Nature's Prophet, maybe a Clockwork at sort of most as far as support goes.
Yeah, Bone 7 mostly known as for kind of the man with the interesting item build. So we'll see what hero's going to be playing today and what item he goes for. Doombringer is going to be the Virtus Pro. Yesterday when we saw them play Doom, it was a Resolution 1-row Doom on the safe lane up top, kind of just rising away with Devour. He went for Vlad's first, we believe.
Yeah,
Vlad's first.
Drums, AC or something.
Yeah, something like that. So he gets extremely tanky, and for that portion, I am somewhat concerned about Kaipi. They have some damage coming from the Kunkka and now the Weaver, but nothing threatening. Like, you don't have a insane gyrocopter damage output. You don't have, like, Drow Ranger, for example, this level of damage. So
it's a good thing you don't have Drow Ranger.
You don't have a yeah.
I think they should be happy they don't have a Drow Ranger.
But they don't have a Drow Ranger level of damage, is my point. So I am concerned.
Well, they go. It's Weaver, so it is your. Well, Mirana could be played as a 4-position support, your fluff and style support Mirana, but I definitely think we will be seeing another safe lane farming Doom from Resident. Oh, so as I say that, they pick up a Gyrocopter, so it could be a safe lane solo with a Gyrocopter tri-lane or a Gyrocopter support, but it does.
Or it could be a Doom mid against Kunkka. It's not the worst lineup.
Okay, yeah, I definitely agree there, and we'll see where Doom looks to fit in. But I think Virtus Pro, when we mentioned they've been a bit of a slump, they maybe the morale's a bit low. So picking the hero which they actually won a game with yesterday, they one win in who knows how long. They've been doing pretty poorly in other tournaments as well recently. Probably a good idea. Just saying, hey, we've won with this, let's just pull it out again.
Yeah, it's definitely a hero. It has a place in the meta game. Yesterday we saw it picked against the OD as a way to kind of shut him down. And this game is going to be decent against heroes like Weaver, Mirana, and Nagas as well. But we're going to see Shadow Demon. So what I assume to be a dual lane mid from Kunkka and ST, and maybe even a dual lane top like Mirana and Naga, and just let your Weaver just safe lane bot against probably a 1v1 matchup between Batrider.
At the same time, you could always, Shadow Demon Kunkka is great, but Shadow Demon Mirana is also really solid.
Yeah, that's fine as well.
The arrow, so
in fact, you could go offensive trialing with this, right?
Yeah, I think you can go offensive trialing. Weaver's a hero who we talk about. You can put him off lane, but if he gets zoned up by a trialing, he becomes very useless very quickly. So doing a safe lane solo Weaver may be the way to go here for Kaipi.
Yep. All right, it's going to be a last pickup Jakiro, a nice long-range support that also have a ton of health. I guess the lane here for Virtus Pro is somewhat self-explanatory. Trialing defensively featuring the Gyrocopter, Doom solo mid here, and Batrider in the long lane. So we'll see if that's going to be the case.
Yep. Well, we'll see who's going to be picking up what here. With G picking up the Bat. G's played this Batrider a number of times, but
you never know whether it's actually the hero until they finally walk in the lane, because there's some swapping shenanigans in the past.
Every team does it now.
Yeah,
I see teams in like the MLG tournament, which is like your amateur American teams, doing it as well. I'm just like, well, okay. I think well, I don't know it should be removed, but I think they should make it more obvious when they swap, because it shouldn't be something you can use to confuse opponents. But looks like things are settling now for the two teams as far as their picks go.
Well, I don't think there's going to be any swaps coming out here from the Radiant team. Kaipi on a hot streak lately, been winning a couple of tournaments, beating out a lot of good teams. We have Kunkka going solo mid here, being handled by none other Sing Sing. We have Cannon Parody of Will, Ii-sama, Mercy Please playing the Weaver on the bot lane. We're going to have Pylai Dai playing Naga Siren up top. Shadow Demon being handled by AI 2000. Last but not least, we're going to have Bone 7. Arrow first Mirana. Looks like we're going to see an offensive trialing.
Yep. Well, over on the Dire side, it's the Russian stars. We're going to see NS The famous former captain of various teams playing the Rubik. We're going to have the Gyrocopter in the hands of Light of Heaven, the former Navi player. Go Black on Jakiro. G playing the solo mid bat, it looks like. Then finally, Resolution. Safe lane solo Doom? If so, he's in for a world of pain.
I wonder if they're going to do like a... Actually, the lanes look pretty bad for Virtus Pro,
Both
no
teams
matter they
going
stack it up.
Both teams are kind of going offensive trialing, it looks like.
But I think Weaver is much more capable of handling
Yeah.
offensive trolling than Doom can, so...
Doom will I guess he can go jungle. The big thing is when you both go offensive trialing, you're suddenly like, oh, it's not trialing versus trialing. The two supports can roam a lot, which means they can maybe look to gank middle. So we'll kind of look to see Kunkka as well as Batrider maybe under a bit of pressure on the mid lane.
Yeah, in terms of ganking, though, with the setup spells that a Kunkka could have over the Batrider, when you have Naga and the Shadow Demon roaming in, I think Kunkka is going to have the edge there. Now, obviously, whenever Kunkka is in a 1v1 position against a Batrider, he's going to be in trouble. He's also not really expecting a Bat solo mid just yet. No Magic Stick purchase, although we might see that change very quickly.
Yep. Well, looks like the two teams are ready to get things underway here in the WePlay Dota 2 League. Virtus Pro sitting on 1 and 3. Kaipi yet to play a game, so important match for both these two teams. More so Virtus Pro because they are 1 and 3 and need to start racking up some points.
Yeah, Kaipi is one of those teams that's not going to worry about moving on. Maybe they are not going to take first if they drop a couple of games in this group, but I'm pretty sure they're going to move on, and that's all they really care about.
Yep. Well, we'll see a rotation through the enemy jungle coming up from Virtus Pro here. Virtus Pro?
Virtus Pro.
I'm getting my syllables mixed up already. Weaver's going to scout them out, which is good news for Kaipi. They're getting, well, I guess both teams are getting some information from this, and Virtus Pro should know that at this point this is a solo Weaver. I don't think they're expecting just a straight up offlane Narana.
Yeah, well, you can see that Weaver's actually got a Magic Stick. He was originally expecting a 1v1 matchup against a Batrider, but Batrider is now going mid, and now we're going to see Sing Sing most likely pick up a Magic Stick of his own. The important information that Eternal Envy got out of this is that he saw Rubik has two Sentry Wards. So that's something that he's going to keep in mind if he's playing a little bit too aggressively in the laning stage.
Yep, he's going to try to scout this 0-minute rune. Hope something to help him in the laning stage. Not going to happen here. Light of Heaven, not going to actually pick up any skill points here. Doing a good job of saving those. And AUI is actually the one getting an Invis rune. So not going to see any sort of a rotation mid. Just going to head straight towards the top lane and Resolution. I don't know if he can even go to lane here.
I mean, he's going to try his best to block some, but a very, very easy arrow. Disrupt into arrow and then snare to follow through, and there's more than enough physical damage to actually bring it down. If Kaipi feels very confident, yeah, and they do, you can see Riptide being selected here by Naga Siren. They just know that the arrow is going to land after a disruption, and it should be a very easy kill with the minus armor, reducing Doom's already pitiful 0 armor.
Yeah, Riptide level 1 is just ridiculously powerful. I don't think there's really any cases you want to go in snare level 1. Or very, very, very few.
Maybe in a trialing where you just need a setup spell. That's going to be it. But yeah, in this
generally,
case,
if you're going in snare, then you don't have the damage.
Yeah.
If you need the damage to kill them to begin with, which is your Riptide. The damage output as well as the minus armor is what's going to get you the kills. But we'll see them. It looks like, yeah, straight towards the top lane, zone out Resolution as much as possible. And if Resolution realizes it's a trialing, I feel like he has to go straight to the jungle, kill the big camp, just kill the small camp as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. So I am somewhat concerned for Virtus Pro's offensive trialing here. I don't think they're going to get a kill against Weaver. There is Telekinesis Lift, there are Ice Path, and Rocket Barrage is a high damage nuke, but that's counting on Eternal Envy being horribly out of position. And so if you don't get a kill, and I don't really think they could get a tower push successfully off either, what do you do as your two off-lane support? I guess you could roam to the mid lane, but by themselves, Rubik as well as Jacaros are really poor gankers.
I think they're okay. Just having both of them having a disable, like it's not as bad as other sort of roaming duos we've seen. I think Rubik just
it's no Nyx Assassin Lina or something like that.
Yeah, but you've got a Batrider already in the mid lane, so all you need is to me just Rubik alone with a gank could almost set up a kill on mid lane because it's a Batrider in an advantageous matchup.
Okay. We'll see if that's going to be the case. Kunkka obviously have one of the tankier heroes up in the beginning, setting already 720 strength, with a couple points into strength. I imagine once he has a magic stick, he's going to be a lot tankier with a couple of active charges, so it should be quite difficult for them to get the kills.
Yep, well, Virtus Pro, we are going to have a bit more of a long pause. Virtus Pro have gone for not quite the full no legs, but they got a lot of flying heroes going on. They got legs, but they're flying.
So they don't count. Haven't you seen the Bruno explanation? Lena's got legs, but she's hovering, so they don't count.
Well, Rubik hovers, correct?
Does he?
I would say so. I missed Dota 1 where you can, like,
he
rotate.
He seems firmly attached to the ground right now.
You think so?
I'm looking at the hero portrait. And
I just think he
is-
hovered because he's got a cloak on. Any hero with a cloak on should hover.
Okay.
Okay, he's attached to the ground. I concede.
Yeah. Doombringer is very firmly attached to the
Oh
ground.
yeah. Yeah. Well, we
And
got
he's
three flying heroes.
He's big boned. And
I feel like for Virtus Pro, they just need to kind of... They're just struggling to figure out what role these players want to play. Because so many times I've seen Light of Heaven, he's like their off-lane player, you'd say. But I've seen him play Anti-Mage, here he is on the Gyrocopter. They just don't seem to have figured out what they want. Like, each player doesn't really know what role they want to be playing. Same for, like, Resolution. Like, he's played a safe lane Doom, he's played, I think, like an off-lane Lone Druid one game. He's done a bit of everything.
I see
Yeah.
Virtus Pro giving a
What if I got a call, could we pause the game, Lumi?
Actually, if I get a call, can we all show up 5-10 minutes late to every match?
Depends who it is.
That's the real shot to all of these guys.
Depends who it is.
I find it ironically funny that Virtus Pro is giving the professional gaming shot call when nobody on Eurogaming shows on time, except minus like one or two teams that's really good on it. Like Team Liquid used to be really good on showing on time. I'm not sure if they were.
A lot of teams start off really good, but then it disappears partly because of other teams. And
yeah,
then
like you can't blame
also
them
you just get
because
a bit
you
lazy.
show up there every time on time, and then you have to wait 20 minutes. So you think to yourself, why?
That happened with me when I was the manager for Natural 9. Like the first 3 or 4 months of tournaments, it was always on time, always bitching about European teams not showing up on time. Like it was like an ongoing joke, and then it started becoming that these guys would not show up on time.
Right.
And they were just like, well, the other team's knocked down. I'm like, well, that's no fucking excuse. But at the same time, it's kind of...
It's true, yeah.
It's true. It got to a point where like it would be time for a match, and none of them would even be awake. Which
Wow.
is, that was unrelated to the strong up on time. That was because they knew me being a competent manager would call all four or five of them
At the
to
same
wake
time.
them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That was my main job as manager, was calling them on their phones at 3 in the morning to wake them up for a match.
Damn.
It was
Alright.
tough life.
AUI 2000 Invis up, looking for a kill. You can see that Mon 7's moving away from the creep equilibrium. Don't want to get the arrow blocked, and Resolution says, get off me, there's going to be a disruption. Arrow's going to follow through. No! Well then.
He kind of spawned a little bit lower down than the disruption
Perhaps
because of
the
the
trees.
the illusion placement. I don't know. That was a bit weird.
Well, that should have been a
It was a whiff. Do you think they actually had enough damage there to get the first blood? Because Pylodai was going to have to come around from the tree. So he would have got the Riptide off, but he wasn't going to get the full amount of right clicks. I think it would have been very close as to whether or not they even got the kill, should the arrow have landed.
Yeah, the Riptide's going to help a lot with this zero base armor, but
Yeah.
it seemed effectively that they have removed Doom from the lane, because Doom says, alright, we're done here. Gonna just go.
Well,
to the
you
jungle.
mentioned that Doom struggles a lot more than the Weaver will against offensive trial lane, but he can actually jungle okay and probably get a similar amount of farm to maybe the Weaver in this safe lane.
That's true, but I think the experience is going to be fitting in Weaver a little bit more. And Doom quite needs a bit in the beginning. Like Resolution played the safe lane Doom the other day and had insane farm and had a huge impact for the team. But I don't think he's going to have a similar impact today just because there's a trial lane on top.
Yep.
Whether the fact that they kill him or not, like just by applying pressure, he's not going to have safe farm.
Doesn't look like it. Meanwhile, mid lane, Kunkka, he's, like you said, get the fast magic stick. He actually had 200 gold when the creeps came out, so he knew if he was against the Bat Rider, he could just bring it out as fast as possible, and already with 7 charges on it. So it basically means he can actually just throw torrents willy-nilly, just even for last hitting here, if he wants to.
Ooh, geez, got a couple of stack here on...
He got up to 7 or 8, but just Sing Sing, knowing this matchup, as soon as it sort of wears off, he knows he can go back in.
yeah, he'll just back off. No big deal.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're going to see a little bit of rotation. There's going to be haste from Bat Rider's going to snack that one up in his bottle. So look towards G playing very, very aggressive. That's something we talked about G yesterday. He is probably one of the most aggressive player on this particular team. And if you're the aggressive player on a Russian team, then, well, it looks like we haven't
That's
done
saying
it.
something.
You are...
Coming from a Chinese team as well, so he got his true potential in China at
Unlocked.
LG, and it was
Yeah.
well, it was stifled. It was slowing
True.
down. It was like, nope, no aggression. Got to play conservative Dota.
Second phone call of the day. So let's go back flaming the professionalism of European Dota.
Oh, I it was one of those things like everyone says, oh, Chinese games always start on time, but that has not been the case in Cena Cup.
There has not been.
There's been a number of games not stay on time, but the difference is, I would say the difference is not the professionalism of the teams, but the organizers. Because the organizers, you're 2 minutes late, you get a time penalty.
Yeah.
If we check the time penalty of these teams, I imagine 0.
0. that Tusky A tree, man.
Yep.
You don't mess around.
So I think that the teams, whether you're looking at China professionalism, Western professionalism, it's
So
not much different.
this is a shot call as we're gonna see a Century War into a telekinesis lift. There's a lift, toss back, ice path, anything. There's nothing. So just there's an ice path slowly going through, but looks
Might
like
have it too far.
Resolution or Light of Heaven, excuse me, is not gonna be able to get away.
Yep.
Get to the.
And that's kind of one of those moments where you can tell VP just don't really have that synergy working with their team, because that was a Sentry Ward, both supports. Well, the first support throwing a disable, the second was like, oh, I don't want to go, and then it's like, no, no, go. But they had no chance. They weren't even close to getting that kill,
No.
so that's just big. Everyone's on a different page.
Yep, and now I think with the Doombringer zoned out of the lane, they're gonna just rotate Naga Siren to the safe lane on the bot, which is I think a very, very good move, because between Naga and Weaver, in fact, if you don't dive successfully and make sure you get a kill, you're going to be dead. Are we going to see ensnare action? Yes, we are. Right on Light of Heaven, Sakuchi comes in. Riptide against the walls. Couple of right clicks going to get the job kill, but looks like EE dropping low. Mercy, please, EE says. They don't even get the kill on Light of Heaven, and Kaipi backs off. I think trying to initiate with Swarm and then a ensnare and then walking in like that with the Sakuchi is not going to work. You have to have the Naga Siren in the front line to soak up the damage, because she's the one with the 6 base armor, not the Weaver.
Yeah, really well timed and placed ice path from GoBlack as well, helping keep Light of Heaven alive there. But that was a mistake from Kaipi. You look at something like that where Kaipi thought they could go for the kill, and if they get that against the Trilent, it's fantastic early game start for them. But EE knew there was a Central Ward in lane, so he knew it should have been. They had vision of him coming in, so the ice path was not all that difficult to land.
Well, G on the mid lane trying to push a little bit. Deny attempt coming out from Kunkka. You'll see only very few players make that deny attempt against a Bat Rider or Firefly turned on. Invisrin is going to be picked up here on the top lane. And a haste onto boot as well. In fact, this could be very, very dangerous here.
Can you go on? I don't think you can go on the Kunkka here.
Yeah, he's not level 6 yet.
Yeah. Very unlikely to get anything of a kill there. Something of note is every time Rubik's going to check these runes at bottom, he's stacking Ancients on the way. There's already a triple stack of Ancients here over on the Dire side. And this is going to be something which will help them out a long ways down the road. They're not going to be killing this anytime soon, but there is a Gyrocopter on their team who you know will be going that sort of flat cannon DPS semi-carry type play.
But it's always good to actually have the stack in the early game and then just have your options ready. You don't want to be like, oh, I want to farm some Ancients, and then you look there and there's no stack. So it's always a good habit to get into. Bat Rider playing very aggressive. So it's the bottom lane. It looks like bottom lane's okay. You see how Pilot Dies just waiting here. I think they just want to set up a kill. Perhaps there's a disruption. Soul Catcher. Torn looks like it's not going to land. And Snare's going to be there. Where's the Torn? Nothing just yet. They don't even need it. Torn comes in at the end to kill Ensure. So very nice rotation coming from both supports. That should be somewhat obvious considering the fact that 2 supports are missing from 2 different lanes. But perhaps just a slight error in judgment.
It was a bit, we talked about earlier. Both teams are going to go offensive Trilane. It means the safe lane solos get zoned out. The supports have so much space to roam around the map because no one's going to go up against these offensive Trilanes because there's no 3v3 matchups. And as a result, the first successful support rotation comes in towards middle lane from Kaipi. VP did get first blood on their supports at bottom lane, but that was just by a bit of an overextension from Kaipi.
Meanwhile, looks like Kunkka's doing a little bit of stacking for himself. He's going to be using a Torrent and a Tidebringer here to kind of whittle down these neutral creeps. A little bit of extra EXP and go. You see a lot of like solo mid, Darkseers, or even Shadow Fiends make similar moves to just accelerate their goal. Any hero with good AoE on the mid lane could make similar type of move. We do see a rotation coming on the top lane from GoBlack, so that should allow Eternal Envy to have a free 1v1 matchup, which I think that Light of Heaven should be okay in. But
Tier 1 tower top goes down, and we're just 6 minutes in. He didn't even go for it. It doesn't even have his Bassi or Ring of Aquila yet. So that's
no, he just had a face boot.
And GoBlack was pulling as well. That's what caused all the damage. These pull camps here being used. Otherwise, that tower doesn't take as much damage as it did.
Yeah, Doombringer coming out on the top lane. He's only got level 5, so I think he should just jungle his way up to level 6. That Devour has been very, very helpful. Got already a Tranquil Boots up, and with the tower down, he should be able to find level 6 eventually.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen movement from him yet from this mid lane. Another Torrent going to come in from Sing. Double damage boat. He wants the solo kill. He may just straight up get this. One more right click. The nice Flame Breath going to buy him some time here. Can he keep on going? He's got Bottle.
No.
He could Torrent again. That was almost.
Sing Sing walk back such that he's gonna go for another Torrent. The Torrent's gonna hit Tidebringer off the creep waves. Nicely play here by Sing Sing. G thought he was safe under the protection of the tower. You're never safe from Sing Sing.
Sing Sing Dota right there. That is absolutely beautiful play from there. Great game sense and just knowing that. We talked about G being aggressive. He's also very greedy, and that was just absolute greed. Wanting to get those last hits under tower, thinking, hey, I'm under my tower. I'll see him coming in. There's no way he gets me, but Torrent from those trees was just spot on. And, well, easy kill for Sing Sing.
Yeah, and of course with the bottom Magic, he's back to full HP, and he's likely to get the next rune as well. Oh, no, never mind. G's already back.
Yeah, but G was up to like 1100-ish gold, so he was well on his way to a Blink Dagger at some point. Just gets torrented again at mid lane. He's not going to have any follow-up damage, but he's just getting constantly torrented and harassed as soon as he comes back mid.
And finally, we're going to see a full man rotation away from that bot lane. Gyrocopter has left, the Rubik has left, so Eternal Envy's going to have absolute free farm, which he kind of need because he's...
What was that time-lapse, man?
Just for the extra HP, man.
Like 50 HP?
I guess so.
You saw that, yeah?
Yeah, I saw that. That was... Look, he might be my friend, but I don't know about what the hell that was.
There's no one on his lane, and it's going. By the time anyone comes to his lane, time-lapse will be back up, but it was just a bit strange.
It's dubious.
Yeah.
Alright, G on the mid lane. I think he's going to be the next person to be gone on. There's no excellent marks at spot just yet. Only a single point. You generally want 2 points to make it absolutely easy as an initiation. You can see that Bone 7 looking for the initiate, and just scouting things out.
Yeah, he could just straight up kill Goblik there if he can decides to go for
Goblik
an arrow.
is fairly tanky.
Yeah. 2 an arrow, double Starstorm hit, and a couple right clicks with phase boots though. And it maybe requires a leap chase, but definitely there is damage there to get the kill. But very dangerous to go into the bat as well as Rubik. But the good news for Bone 7 is he scouts out that Jakiro's there, and I think they've seen Rubik as well.
Ooh, long range arrow, that's barely going to miss on G. Maybe they should have just used the disruption as a setup.
Yeah, but we're going to see these two supports stay at mid. They know they have to protect him. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Weaver's gone in on Doom. Does he even have time-lapse?
I'm surprised that he was... Okay, he realized that he didn't turn 6 just yet. I was like, you Sakuchi into a Doom under the safety of a tier 1 tower. I was like, that's aggressive. But there was no Doom available just yet.
Alright, well, Sing Sing on Kunkka, the mid lane, has got phase boots. He's got his bracer building towards that drum of endurance. And
here we go.
X-Torrent.
Yeah, X-Torrent's going to fly through, and there's going to be arrow. Nice flame break, but the boat's going to come through, and that's going to be the easiest kill of Sing Sing's life.
Yeah, as soon as he got the second point in X, you talked about it. You get that second point, guaranteed torrent, and they don't even need an arrow there. They just use a Starstorm to make sure they secure the kill. Nice soul catch from AUI as well. Landed directly on the Batrider, and G, he's 0 and 3 all of a sudden.
Yeah, and of course, Batrider is one of those heroes. Not exactly snowball-based like a Queen of Pain, but you want that Blink Dagger. Resolution on the bot lane here, gonna get Sakuchi away. With the Doom available, any +1 gank should be the death of a Weaver, and you can see the rotation coming here from Rubik, but we'll see. If you get a Telekinesis lift and a Doom on top and a couple more right clicks, it should be it. And this kill means a lot for NS. If he gets level 6 or close to level 6, getting a Sakuchi or being able to steal a bolt, that's absolutely huge. But Paladin and NS, they're like just
so close, but
right next to each other.
So
Paladin, is he level 6? Not yet.
No. It looks like that's what he's just trying to do here at bottom lane. Soak up experience while in
Envy's
fog.
just leaving the lane, just give him experience.
Those 3 creeps, if they don't get denied, will get him to level 6, but I guess a good chance they do get denied.
Ooh, double damage here from Light of Heaven. He's going to go straight into the Ancient Stacks and try to make something of it. There you go.
Alright, Naga gets level 6 now. Smart. I love that from Envy. Like, he's playing the safe lane farmer, but he's like, okay, you get that experience because you need... Having this level 6 right now could make a huge difference. And even for EE himself, being able to be kept alive by maybe a Song of the Siren.
Yeah, having played with Envy a lot in pub games, well, I'll talk about that later. Song of Siren being activated, or not Song of Siren, Moonlight Shadow being activated. And I think Dire has scouted out, so everybody just backs away. G runs away. You can see the Doom running away on the bot lane. And that will be it. I mean, it's not too costly of an ultimate, only 75 mana. It's a fairly long cooldown, though.
These Ancients being destroyed.
Yeah.
Light of Heaven about to get a ton of farm.
Yeah, flat cannon with double damage, just a very, very lucky break.
Yep.
But having played with Eternal Envy a lot and playing support for him a lot in pub games, one thing that he very stressed on is if you need an extra 100 gold for your 4-staff upgrade or a boots, just ask for it. Because sometimes having your 4-staff on your support or level 6 on your support, it is very, very key. So it's something that they practice on a lot on Kaipi. So.
Well, Gyrocopter, despite having the DD rune, this is going to take a number of attempts to actually kill. These big black dragons are very, very tanky and survivable. Oh, mid lane.
Kunkka doesn't take too long to kill Gold Black. It's another X-Torn Bolt. When he has a mana, when he sees a low HP enough hero, he's going to go for it. And Sing Sing, very effective on the mid lane, especially against one of the most dominant solo mids in the hero and the player. G, just not having a good time, where Sing Sing is just having a grand slam of the day.
Yeah, and going straight into that Shadow Blade build, not even finishing off the drum of endurance, just casual bracer. And meanwhile, while all this is going on, you have EE pressuring this bottom tier 1 tower, and Virtus Pro just not finding a single opening on the map. They've had this Doom for a long time, but he still hasn't used it. He's level 7 approaching level 8. He's not farming, he's not using his ultimate, and it just looks like Kaipi are getting a lot more all across the map. They've got themselves only a 2k gold lead, but it feels like they've got a lot more control over this game in general.
Yeah, I just want to echo your sentiment on the control. Well, X-Torn happening on the mid lane here. I don't think it's going to get a kill, but just a little bit of usage of the mana before Sing Sing rotates up top. Or maybe not. Here comes Rubik. There's going to be a purge going on NS. Are we going to set up Bolt? Nothing just yet. NS slow down. Ooh, Arrow's gonna miss as well. Leap down. Seems like they don't know really what they want to do. They want to go in. They don't want to go in, so they back off. And there's that regen on the top lane.
Unfortunately, the torrent was on cooldown when the purge initially came out, so couldn't actually sort of synergize that. Bone 7 had to land the arrow, but doesn't really matter too much for Kaipi. A slight miscommunication, it looks like, but Virtus Pro just going to be happy they didn't lose anyone there. And even Doom being in the front lines with a Doom up, there's no one he can actually Doom because they just run. Sing Sing just runs away. There needs to be follow-up stuns, disable, and actual burst damage.
Yeah, and that's something that's lacking right now. If we check on the... Batrider's actually somehow found his way up to a Blink Dagger despite having a very, very poor start. So, want to see finish jungling one more camp. He's going to be looking to, well, struggle to find his way back because... even with the Blink Dagger we talked about yesterday, you still want that Force Staff to be truly effective as a ganker. Look, Eternal Envy just diving past the tower. He wants Light of Heaven. No target available. One more Sakushi should be able to do it. Magic Stick back up, and, well, Envy says, well, I'll back out now. It doesn't cost Envy too much of anything. Like, sure, it's a little bit HP down the drain, but it's okay. He drew out TP. The TP got cancelled. Light of Heaven uses Magic Stick and a cooldown, so it's not too bad. Yeah,
I think the cooldown was mostly just for the creep set, not really to help himself. But Envy, knowing he can go for that kill, and forces him out of the lane, continues to farm. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter is still trying to kill off this big Ancient stack. This has taken him so long to do.
And a double damage rune. It's still worth it.
It is.
He's up to 3k go.
Yeah, I'm not denying that. It's more just one of those things where it's a lot more efficient to do it later in the game when you have the damage items. If you have a lane to farm, but I think that's a big problem is there's no lane to really be farming. They want Doom to be farming, he's doing that at top. They want G to get farm, and the supports are just getting some levels and kind of just trying to hold on to this middle lane.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think Kaipi right now is doing an excellent job of putting up pressure in every single lane. We've seen Kunkka repeatedly killing mid. You see Envy repeatedly diving past the tower when Resolution TP in earlier to dive on the Light of Heaven. And also we see multiple rotation from like your AEI as well as Bone 7 rotating in enemy jungle as SC and Mirana trying to look for kills. So it's really hard for Virtus Pro to find these farms, and that's why Light of Heaven, choosing more of an inefficient spot, if you will, because he just doesn't have any other options here. Kunkka invis up already. X Torrents. He's waiting for. Oh, there you go. Go Black's dead. X Torrent, and we're gonna see all of the follow spells.
Yeah, they probably don't even need this boat here, as both Mirana as well as Shadow Demon came in, and there's a smoked up Batrider here. Well, there was a smoked up Batrider. It looked like they didn't achieve anything with their smoke. Bat and Rubik was smoking around the sort of dire jungle towards the top lane, found nothing. Now made their way mid lane with a Blink Dagger, but I don't think a Blink on Bat is going to be enough to guarantee too many kills. Shadow Demon is one they can get, but if Shadow Demon's seen behind a Kunkka or something, you just use a defensive disruption and problem solved.
Yeah, the way that Disruption and Flaming Lasso interact is that the disrupted person will get dragged. The black ball will get dragged, which makes absolutely no sense, but and he will pop out where the drag thing is, so you could still initiate on the team with the ST. That's what I'm trying to say, but it's still not going to be absolutely effective.
You instantly purge the Batrider or something.
Before that works too.
Before he has 4 staff, I think Batrider, you can't really go into a team fight just to get a lasso, because you will get purged up.
Yeah, that's something that AUI talked about, that a very well-placed Shadow Demon in terms of positioning should never actually allow Batrider to get your initiation off pre or after 4 staff. So we'll see whether he is going to be having that position that he thinks Shadow Demon could do for the game.
So Light of Heaven's picked up some items. He's gone for a Yasha into BKB type build, but this is not going to maybe save him from initiation. They actually just want this tier 1 tower.
Yeah.
When Missile comes out, tower not deniable yet. I think they realize low chance of success, so they're not going to get it any lower.
One thing I've noticed about Eternal Envy's play on the Weaver this game is that he's just not shy about using time-lapse.
Oh, top. Moonlight Shadow being used. Batrider's in the side, though.
X Torn coming right in, but perhaps the initiation is going to go the other way. Batrider coming in very, very slowly. Still not coming in. The Doom. Ooh, the invisibility coming back off. The arrow's going to hit finally now. Resolution's going to be dead. A couple of missed chances here. Where the hell's that Bat? Bat is just not coming out. He just thinks, I see too many target. I can't go out. Meanwhile, Bone 7 with the double damage. He's just chasing down NS. NS is dead after 2 more hits. Well, that was quite unfortunate. Batrider is going to TP back to the TFC of his tier 2.
They didn't have the numbers there. I think they thought they could just get a pick off. They were happy just having Doom as well as Batrider in the trees there, but Kaipi, they bring more than enough numbers. They have the Moonlight Shadow going as well, and without detection, this is something that VP, it's like playing against an Nyx Assassin. You just need Sentry Wards in every lane almost, it feels like.
Yeah, they have a Sentry Ward on the mid lane. That was able to save for 1 kill, but back in the mid lane, blink in from G, but immediate Shadow Walk coming out from... Meanwhile, though, if you look at Eternal Envy, already destroyed the tier 1 tower, working on the tier 2.
So Doom's gone for a drums mech this time, so going for more utility-based play rather than sort of the tanky semi-carry we saw last game with all the attack speed, the life steal. He's getting the crit. He's gone instead for War Stomp this time to give his team more stun, and this is recognizing that it's going to be out Light of Heaven carrying this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's gone for a mech, like you said, and He really just wants to be able to tank in the front line, and he should be able to. Again, the damage output of Kaipi is not too impressive, but it's going to ramp up very quickly. Once Miranda picks up 2 or 3 damage items, she's a legitimate damage force. She's going to be going for a Maelstrom first. Excuse me. And of course, Kunkka's already doing quite well in the mid lane.
Yeah, Kunkka, that's this fast Shadow Blade is going to cause a lot of problems with Virtus Pro. And we talked about just the Moonlight Shadow. Meanwhile, bottom lane, can they get Eternal Envy? He's been blink lassoed. I don't think there's no Doom, so they don't actually maybe kill him.
He doesn't have time lapse either, though.
Can he just TP out? Yeah.
Yes, he does. No,
Batrider goes the wrong direction. If Batrider flies down, maybe they get their kill, but they didn't actually have detection on him. No dust or sentry, so they were just completely guessing when he Shikuchi's into the secret shop.
What's another gang that has no sentry doesn't? That's not going to work out, like you said.
No Doom either, so well, no Doom used. They have got Doom back up now.
Paladin being chased away by a homing missile. They're not going to get this tier 1 tower. In fact, entire Virtus Pro rotating in. Oh, Song Siren's going to get activated. Really? Do they want to take this team fight? Eternal Envy, you can see he's Sakuching in arrow. It's going to hit. The bolt's going to be on top. Resolution can't even pop the mech. Mega kill streak here, but call down coming down. They're going to try to burst down Paladin. He's dropping low, and I don't think he's going to die. Yes, he will. Batrider coming in as well, but Resolution is dropping low. You can see that X. We're going to see a torrent follow through. No torrent necessary. Eternal Envy joining the fray, and they're going to focus on G. G is on the run here. I'm not sure if Eternal wants... No, he wants a courier. No, now Jukes... He wants G, he wants a courier, and G's just on the run. Yeah, and we have another X.
He's got his Blink Dagger up luckily, so that'll help keep him alive. X is level 2 though, so the range only 650, not enough to catch up to G, and they'll go back for the tier 1 tower. Kaipi only lose Nagasaran there. We talked about, do they want to take this fight? They knew they could at least get the initiation kill, so the question was, how hard was VP going to strike back? And it was not very hard at all.
Yeah, I mean, Virtus Pro right now, it seems like they're just grasping for draws. Everything they have tried has not really worked out. They tried ganking up top, didn't work. They tried team fighting mid, didn't work. They tried ganking Eternal Envy without detection or Doom. That didn't work for sure. So I'm not sure how Virtus Pro make this comeback, because if we look at the net worth, Eternal Envy and his team is just dominating right now.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are getting farm distributed all across their team. They're 3 core heroes. The supports are doing decently-ish as well, like just having the earn early on AUI 2000. Nagasaran offering the arcane boots. They're probably going to look towards a mech. I think that's the one big thing there. If they have a mech on their side, that team fights get an absolute slaughter. They don't lose anyone. They can chase a lot further, but even without, there's not a whole lot Virtus Pro could do. And right now, they're feeling very desperate. They smoked up towards the bottom lane, going into the enemy jungle. They know they just need to find any kill they can. And this Firefly is they're gonna reveal the smoke if Nagasaran sees this. His illusion's taking damage to a Firefly.
Yeah,
that's a big tell.
Yesterday you questioned the decision making of G, and I mean, this is why.
We've got to question it again.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna get tier 1 out of this, but they want Eternal Envy and that tier 1. And speaking of Eternal Envy, he's already staging in tier 2 up top. So
I don't think even regardless they were gonna find kills there, but it was one of those things like, you shouldn't be fireflying when you're smoke ganking, because if there's a ward there, it sees the fire. There's a number of things. A Nagasaran illusion that gets spotted.
Well, team fight could break up on the top lane here. AEI 2000 lagging a little bit behind, getting blocked. He's going to be using his perch. Doom goes on top, but there is a Moonlight Shadow. Oh, looks like X-Torrent's going to be whiffing completely. Resolution still extremely tanky. I think with the spells down, they really should back off. Looks. Oh no! Bone 7 says no. I'm going to leap in and set up a kill here on G. Resolution still chasing away here. Light of Heaven as well. So Warstomp's going to miss. Torn still Kunkka's just trying to land his spells. Doesn't land anything. Instead's going to help them to get 1 kill. And Resolution, he's the only person that's sort of alive. Still tanking the front line. Go Black trying to provide whatever assistance. Another X that's going to set up his ally for getting the kill. And you can see that Kunkka's already chasing up top. And speaking of Kunkka, a couple more hits.
Have mercy.
Oh, arrow. Well, that was a team fight where arrow missed, 2 torrent missed, a bolt missed, and they still win the team fight.
Yeah. And the Doom on the Shadow Demon, I feel, is actually a decent target to Doom as well. Because how well he can keep people alive. That should set up Batrider for a much easier initiation, a lasso onto a key hero like the Kunkka or the Mirana. But that fight, they just didn't have any... at the same time, VP missed spell. They missed Ice Paths. They didn't get any lasso off. The Doom was used on Shadow Demon, but he never took any additional damage. No spells, no right clicks. He just ran away. And that's where I think Singh actually missed a couple of his spells, because he was desperately just trying to keep Shadow Demon alive. So he X'd the Doom who was chasing him, didn't synergize it with the Torrent, but he kept AUI alive, and, well, AUI paid him back later on.
Yeah, using that bolt for the movement speed, as well as the damage reduction. That's definitely a thing as well. Looks like Eternal Envy finishing that Weaver Lincoln Sphere, so at this point, I don't think he's killable. Also, Moonlight Shadow has been used multiple times against Kaipi, who has so much invisibility. It surprises me still that there is not enough detection. There is a single pair of dust on Go Black, but and as well as the Sentry now on NS. But I feel like you need 3 or 4 heroes with constant detection, maybe even a gem investment. It's a very expensive investment, how poor they are. But at the same time, it's something that you have to do.
Yeah, and top T2 tower gets denied. No real big worry or cause for concern there for Kaipi. That's more map control for them. Another tower going down, and they're going to keep on farming. Seeing he's got a Hyperstone on himself.
Yeah, he's found himself a huge stack as well. So somebody's been doing a good job here on Kaipi, and
the EE training paying off.
Yeah, EE training indeed, man.
And even look at these neutrals. Morana's found like a double stack, killing multiple camps at once here in the Radiant jungle.
Maelstrom.
I like the return of the Maelstrom Morana build.
I love Maelstrom Morana.
Yeah.
It's an item that I feel like could bring her into the mid game because her damage output is so low physically in the mid game. Yeah. Maelstrom is not too bad and it helps you farm quite a bit.
Going back for Linken's to deal with the lasso as well as Doom, which I think is perfectly fine. Like the Maelstrom gives you some damage. Linken's actually giving you regen as well as just a little bit of damage here and there.
Whoa. That's not what we call a delta split, but the result is the same. Virtus Pro just stood there and dodged the arrow. Nicely played.
The reverse delta split. If you delta split, someone's getting hit by the arrow.
Yeah, you just stand there. Well, they dodged that one. I think it's going to be a slow siege up top. I don't think exactly Kaipi is looking for a fight. Envy's not here just yet. They just want to get some pot shot damage. If they see a pick off, they'll go for it.
Yep. Well, we are going to have a BKB up on Light of Heaven now. He's got enough gold for it. Wants to bring that out pronto for this team fight. If there's an X-Tron on him, he's dead, and so many spells can deal with him.
Moonlight Shadow, right?
They're so good at using this Moonlight Shadow.
I mean, that's fine. Again, it's a spell that has a long cooldown, but it's very low cost in terms of mana. And if you fail it, you fail it. You don't get punished by it too much.
So one thing I like about it used to cost like 200 mana at level 1 and 300, 400, I believe, as it scaled, and it was just an absolutely bad spell for that reason. Now you get it at level 6 because it only costs 75. Yeah,
they Moonlight up this hill, and then as soon as they Moonlight, Virtus Pro backed off, and Area was like, oh. Must be a Sentry, so they just dewarded, or Paladin dewarded it. But in any case, it's they're farming in the enemy jungle. Virtus Pro is not farming anything apart from that one ancient stack, and eventually we're going to see Virtus Pro getting somewhat out farmed. They're already getting very out farmed.
Yeah, it's over 10k the gold lead, and things looking very good for Kaipi. Only the 2 kills for VP, one of those happening in the first minute or 2 of this game. So they've gone 24 minutes. Finding next to nothing against this well-executed Kaipi lineup.
Arrow, that's straight arrow. Not going to hit Light of Heaven. X-Torn, though, however, it's going to force no BKB activation. Very surprised. Drum's going to be used. They will back off after getting that tower. Resolution, thinking about Doom, but you can't go for that Doom the Kunkka. He's way too tanky.
Yep. Well, Weaver, Linken's going to be the one sort of leading things off here. And with the Linken's, can afford to do so. Oh, there's the X-Tron. Goldblack's going to be caught out. This should be a kill. They can commit to this if they want. Not going to see a boat to follow it up. I guess they decide they want to save the boat for a team fight. Not throw away everything just for the Jakiro.
Yeah, good thing that Sing Sing did not drop the boat, because even dropping the boat, I'm not very sure whether they were going to get the kill with the mech being activated. And if you use X-Torn and then bolt against a Rubik, you're getting your bolt stolen, which is a huge spell for him to steal. Not only is it a insane amount of damage and a stun, again, Coco Rum is something that gives your team a lot of effective HP, and it's not a spell that you want to throw away. So, kind of really good control here by Sing Sing.
Well, a lot of farm at the bottom lane, so Kaipi have decided, hey, look, we need to get back, we need to get farm. We're missing out right now, so EE is going to be taking care of that. We're going to have other heroes farming in the jungle, and Virtus Pro need to use this time to find pickoffs, make something happen, because right now, they can't win in a farming game, and what they're going to try and make happen is actually a sneaky little Roshan attempt, but I'm not too sure about this. They've got to get this really fast and undetected. The arrow, that should have scouted things out.
It did. There's some pings going on. We're going to see immediate rotation coming from the entire Kaipi. Here we go. Let's see if there's enough damage. I really doubt the fact that there is. All they really need is a single Torn to disrupt this. Moonlight Shadow, is it not ready? It's not ready, but yeah.
Oh, it's been used.
Oh, it has been used. There you go. Never mind.
Yep. They're looking for an opening here. There's no Dire Sentry wards either. I don't see any, at least.
Arrow, that's not going to hit here. And Dust is going to just drive everybody back. But I think somewhat the mission has been accomplished by Kaipi. They stopped the Roshan. It's not the sneak. And if they want to have a team fight here, they will win this team fight with Sound Siren available.
Yeah. Go back. He's positioning himself so far up here, being so aggressive. One X-Torrent could spell his doom. We'll see Bone 7 probably just throw another arrow soon, just to try and scout things out, see what's going on. He's not too afraid of being jumped on here with this Lincoln Sphere. And, well, Virtus Pro, they know how low Roshan is, and they're like, crap, if we leave this, it's Kaipi who take it. Yeah, and Envy says, alright, I'm going to just push the mid lane, force 1 or 2 hero back. I'm not afraid of any type of initiation. One thing I'm surprised about is the support right now at this moment for Kaipi does not have any detection or wards available. They can't really ward up the Roshan. They're fighting in the dark. Whereas you can see this one observer just continuously scouting out for Kaipi.
Double damage being activated, but again, against the Bat Rider in the pit, it's somewhat dubious, questionable. Doombringer comes out here, and Psalm Siren's gonna get used.
This is it's because of the Doom. They know they don't have Torrent Boat for some time, so they want to
have
get in
Arrow.
that position.
Arrow's gonna hit right on Resolution and double damage up. Eternal Envy just shreds the Doom apart. No, he pops the mech off and survives barely. Light of Heaven is gonna be going for a lot of support kills. He sees Bone 7. Bone 7 gets lifted, but he should have leap available. He will leap out. Meanwhile, Envy on the backline gets 1 kill. He has time lapse back to Torn, and the boat's gonna hit onto 2. And Envy with the double damage throughout the team fight just ignored. GG gets called out after a full 5-man team wipe. Kaipi 19-2 finishes this game in a blazing glory of crashing boats and shit.
That is really impressive, and they just, you can tell, like, you get a Doom initiation and they just remain calm, cool. They know that even without the Torrent Boat, they can fight with a good Arrow initiation. They just have to burst the hero really fast. They do it to the Doom, then they find the next target. They go one by one. Even with Doom not going down right away, they had Weaver chasing him down, finish off the kill, and the teamfight VP just did not stand a chance. They have no actual firepower here. Gyrocopter sure he's got a BKB cooldown, but a fight around that area, everyone's sort of not condensed into one location.
Yeah, I mean, as good and strong of this win was for Kaipi, it wasn't the most crisp Dota there is. I know these guys could play better. I'm speaking like this because they're my friend. I want them to see play better. So Kaipi is a team that is scary.
Where did Kaipi go wrong there?
I mean,
what needs to be improved upon?
There was a team fight up on the top where a ton of spell being missed. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not sure whether they're using it to save each other or things of that nature. Also, at the last ending team fight, Eternal Envy went away from the Doom, allowed him to activate Mech. There's like small individual mistakes like that. I'm sure he agrees and he wants to brush up on, but they're playing really well.
Yeah, Kaipi's definitely a team to be reckoned with, and I can't wait to see them go up against the likes of Na'Vi, Alliance in the future, especially if they can get some LAN tournaments. But guys, that concludes everything with Game 1. Kaipi have now opened up their WePlay campaign with a win. They want to know Virtus Pro 1-4. You look at this roster, you look at the name, the power of this team, this brand, Virtus Pro, and you think this is going to be a top European team, or at least like up there. But
the retry best Russian team.
Dude, that retry. Those of you who don't know, PGG has entered a team in the WePlay. They're in Group C with Aizen, some other guys. Blow Your
veteran,
Brain,
yeah.
Blow Your Brain, Aizen, and one other guy who is very well known. Can't remember now, but some
Russian.
Some Russian. Some Russian. The lineup looked legit, though. I was looking forward to seeing them play, and we'll see them later on in the WePlay tournament. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, game number 2 of Kaipi versus Virtus Pro will be live.